Talons, and the Talons looked really good.
In a lot of ways, they out-hit the Talons in that series. Erin Koffel was excellent. She was 500, but she only had 3 hits because she walked 6 times. So the rest of this lineup has to find a way to protect last year's MVP and hitter of the year. And then on the other side, it was the very first pick in the expansion draft, Maya Brady, who played for the Talons last year. She is electric, though, leading the charge for the Spark. And she will lead things off for Oklahoma City as the first pitch for the Bandits returning to Parkway Bank Sports Complex is just outside for ball 1. It is Bree Copeland, one of the reserve athletes for the Bandits, filling in for 3 of their normal 5 arms, gets the start today. She was excellent in 2 relief outings, 3 2/3, no earned runs in the opening series against Utah. Brady lays down the bunt. Copeland over, not a chance. It's a bunt single to lead things off for Maya Brady.
Tricky Maya Brady with the 2 home runs last weekend, and then she lays down a bunt. Her athleticism is not even fair.
Take a look at the Oklahoma City starting lineup presented by Easton. So you go from Brady to Romero to a national champion in Cheryl and one of her teammates on that 2018 Florida State National Championship team, Jessie Warren, a little bit further down in the lineup. Plenty of familiar faces on this Spark team that were members of the Bandits a year ago. That was part of the expansion draft. Sydney Romero was a Talon last year, had the game-winning home run in Game 2 of the championship series against the Bandits for Utah.
She plays bigger when the moment gets bigger.
6th-year pro. She's from Murrieta, California. We've had a lot of pros from Murrieta, California, along with her sister Sierra. We also had the Edwards twins that came out of there. Taylor Edwards, a longtime pro, just retired after last season. Chopped left side. Nice job by Billy Andrews to get the lead runner. Well, the question for the Bandits from a pitching perspective is, can they get a good start? Because that was really their issue. Their relievers in the opening series against the Talons did not give up an earned run, but the starters had some problems.
Yeah, it didn't go very deep into games. In fact, of all 6 teams, combined innings that the starters went in all 3 games, the Bandits had the fewest amount of innings, so 8 2/3 combined over 3 innings, or excuse me, 3 games of work.
This is smoked by Cheryl into the gap. Romero hustling around from first, and she will hold at third, and probably a wise choice on a good relay, but it's a double for Sydney Cheryl.
Copeland trying to work in this changeup to Sydney Cheryl, and she just sits on it. I can't believe how low this was, and she was still able to go down and get it and get on time with it. Wasn't fooled at all with that changeup. Finds a gap, and now 2 runners in scoring position for the Spark.
Oklahoma City had the #1 scoring offense in the opening series, scored 23 runs against the Texas Volts, took 2 of 3 games, but did not score a run in the first inning. Now, Bubba Nichols-Camarena is the first of the former Bandits to face her team from a year ago. She was 2nd in the league in home runs, but I think if you ask Jenny Dalton-Hill, if you would have asked their head coach last year, Stacey Newman-Denise, as good as Bubba is as a player, it's really about what she does from a leadership perspective. Bubba got here late last year for preseason, which only was a couple weeks, but Stacey Newman-Denise said right when she got here, she fit in and lifts this to left and over the wall. Bubba Nichols-Camarena hurting her old team with a 3-run shot here in the first.
Bubba Nichols just has power to all fields because she has opposite field power. She can drive it to the middle of the field, and then she can also have some pull power like this swing on a screwball that she is just on time with, able to barrel it up. A 3-run home run for Bubba Nichols-Camarena to get the Spark the lead.
So from Bubba to Delaney Wiz, 2-4.
And this was kind of a theme for the Bandits pitching against the Talons, was they just could not put the Talons hitters away at times. Gave up a lot of two-strike hits. That Bubba Nichols count was a 2-2 count.
Bubba's second home run of the season already. She also hit one in game 2 against the Volts, and Anna Camden has Bubba in the dugout.
Bubba starting off this series with a bang. What'd you see on that pitch?
Honestly, it was just kind of scouting beforehand. I think that they did a good job preparing for the different sides of the plate that she works. So just getting the swings off, trying to learn from it and adjust quickly.
How do you guys keep this momentum going? It's just the first inning.
Yeah, I think it's just really being aggressive and then dialing back where we need to. Delaney and I are used to this field. A lot of us are used to this field. So just being able to come out and have fun and be aggressive.
Thanks, Bubba. Back to you, Chucky.
Delaney Wiz, much differently than Bubba, is on with a hit. Little bloop single out into shallow center. That's the toughest part for these general managers. We talked to Lisa Fernandez for the Towns. We talked to Jenny Dalton-Hill as well. It's not just the fact that you had to rebuild your roster. We built a lot of relationships with these players last year. And then there's a lot of new faces and pieces of your culture that are no longer here.
Well, and it's just so fun with the Spark being an expansion team. A little bit of history of a Spark professional team that was together before they joined the AUSL, but just a different team overall completely. The Spark brand was around, but just building an expansion team and putting together a roster from scratch and trying to find that culture, trying to find your leaders, trying to find an identity right out the gate, kind of like the Portland Cascade, the other expansion team. The 4 teams that we had last year, they already experienced that last year in the barnstorming tour that they had where we didn't have home cities. Now we do, and it gives a different identity and feel to all 6 of these teams that we have now.
Jesse Warren and loops this into right field, and kind of unlucky on these last couple at batters for Bree Copeland. Back-to-back bloop base hits.
Well, and Bubba Nichols Camarena, home run, 2 strikes. Delaney Wiz, 2-strike single. Jesse Warren, 2-strike single here as well. So just needing to find a put-away pitch against these hitters, just like it was against the Talons for the Bandits pitching.
Strike 1 pitch here to Haley Lee. Back to your point on the Spark joining and these teams in their home cities. The thing that is common between these two that's different for the other organizations is that there was an established fan base for the Bandits and for the Spark. The Spark now in their 4th year of existence, but first in the AUSL. Amber Flores has been there since the beginning as well. Their 4th year head coach. She understands the landscape in Oklahoma too. Played college ball there, was a 3-time All-American, a 2-time Big 12 Player of the Year. And there are the 2 GMs for these teams, Jenny Dalton-Hill on the left for the Bandits, and Kirk Walker. That's a new role for him with the Spark. He was the associate head coach under Howard Dobson with the Utah Talons last year. Popped up and out of play. Well, here's your 1-2 count again.
It's here again, and just figuring out a way to get some outs, get a swing and miss, get some weak contact, kind of like what happened with Sid Romero, just a weak ground ball to third base.
Here is a weak grounder to Agbayani, and they will only get 1, but there's 2 away.
And the wind is going to be an issue today. That's something that we haven't mentioned yet. The home run that Bubba Nichols Camarena hit out of here, the wind is blowing straight out to center field. So pitchers have to keep the ball down, find a way to keep the ball in the ballpark, because any ball in the air is going to have some lift to it. It's going to continue to carry deeper than what you imagine.
We've kind of seen it blow at an angle each way. The one place we have not seen it blow in, unfortunately for pitchers, is in. Billy Andrews, ton of power. 4th round pick in the allocation draft. Didn't get all of this. Agbayani drop steps into right field and makes the catch. Oklahoma City is on the board, though, and it's Bubba against her former team.
Really good, going down the zone a few times with her changeup. Throws with good velocity. In college, really relied on her rise ball and her screwball a lot. Didn't throw her changeup as much as what we saw opening weekend against the pros.
Morgan Zirkle fouls that off. It is a veteran top two in this order, and then the youth comes in the 3 and the 4 spot. Morgan Zirkle and Aaron Koffel, arguably the best 2 hitters in the league a year ago, lead it off. Sammy Williams was really great in this starting lineup, brought to you by Rawlings. She slots into the 5 hole, and it felt like even when she wasn't getting a hit, she was hitting the ball hard in that Talon series. Morgan Zirkle, 9 home runs, led the league. Second to her was her teammate last year, Bubba Nichols-Camarena, as she tries to battle in a 1-2 count.
It's always interesting to see how a rookie pitcher is going to come in and adjust with the pitches that they threw. The last senior year that Maya Johnson threw at Belmont, she threw her rise ball 43% of the time, screwed 25%, and her drop 20% of the time. But opening weekend, she threw her curveball the most, followed by her drop ball and a changeup increase of about 10%. So her rise ball is actually her least used pitch, but remember in college, it was her most used pitch.
Aaron Koffel takes the first pitch away after the Morgan Zirkle walk. So what's that tell you about the early conversations they're having? Is that just, let's throw something in a little different to keep people off balance?
Yeah, maybe so. And just how good of up in the zone these professional hitters are, trying to keep the ball in the ballpark. The higher that a pitch goes in the zone, it heads more toward belt high, letters high, and usually those pitches have more of a tendency than down in the zone to get out of the ballpark. So just trying to force more ground balls, more line drives to the infield, and keep the ball in the ballpark.
Same count for Koffel as Zirkle found herself in early in the count. 1-2.
And Maya Johnson is a different type of left-handed pitcher. When I watch her pitch in college, usually a left-handed pitcher relies a lot on a curveball. That is kind of a lefty MO, is that curveball. It just seems like every lefty has one.
Awful ground ball. Nice play by Cheryl and a spinning throw to get the lead runner.
And it's not that Maya Johnson doesn't have a curveball. She will throw it. But in college, you saw her pitching more or leaning more toward her screwball. So a pitch that would move away from right-handed hitters instead of into them. So just a different take on a left-handed pitcher, something that Kirk Walker, the GM of the Spark, really actually liked about her, that she gave a different look.
This is low ball 1. She will see a lot of lefties in the order for the Bandits. Taryn Kern, one of them in the 3 spot. Kern had 2 hits in the opening series against the Talons. One of them, if she hit it right now, would be out of the park easily, but the field in Utah quite a bit bigger than the other ones in the league. Now, instead, it was a double off the center field wall. Takes the 2-0 strike. So rookie-on-rookie matchup. We'll see a few of these this weekend. This rookie class has been so dynamic. As Kern swings through it, strike 2.
Nice looking drop ball, just falls off the table there. And this is going to be a tough matchup for the Bandits. Like you said, all but 3 hitters are going to be on from the left-hand side against lefty and Johnson.
A little too far outside and a full count to Kern against the Bandits, who scored 10 total runs in the opening series against the Talons. 6 of them came in the first inning. Kern missed it, and there was a runner occupying first. They'll make the throw anyway, and there's 2 outs.
Her drop ball is moving swing and miss to Taryn Kern there on a drop ball. She is leaning on that drop ball a lot right now. Look at the movement of this pitch. It just falls off the table. Delaney Wiz is back there catching. And this Spark team had to somewhat shuffle some people around because before the season they were relying on Kinsey Hansen, and Kinsey Hansen announced that she is pregnant. So congratulations to Kinsey Hansen. But, you know, when they drafted this team, they thought that Kinsey Hansen was going to be their backstop back behind the plate. And thankfully for Kirk Walker and Amber Flores, Delaney Wiz is a player with experience not only at third base, but back behind the plate too, along with Haley Lee and Grace Jenkins as well. So 3 catching options, but they really thought that they were going to have this one right here, Kinsey Hansen, who's here just to watch the game back behind the plate. And so again, congratulations to Kinsey, expecting.
Announced that at the end of May. Her and her husband Kobe are expecting their first child. She was their first round pick in the allocation drafts. They took Brady first in the expansion draft, which was them picking off of the current teams in the league. And then the allocation draft was the remaining players available. Erickson slaps this into left field, and Bubba comes on to make the grab for the 3rd out. So Bubba hits a 3-run home run, and Maya Johnson puts up a clean first inning.
Was extra innings. One was a 1-0 win. One was a 5-2 win. A high-scoring game. Like when you looked at that series with the defending champions, they won in a lot of different ways, and they look again like they're going to be tough to beat.
First pitch swinging for Grace Jenkins, and a nice job by Copeland to field her position. Jenkins, a rookie out of Arizona. The reserve athlete pool goes down and turns it over to the top of the order. Bandits need to settle in now. Bree Copeland needs to put up a clean inning.
Feels like it's a must, and it's not going to be easy because the Spark are already at the top of their order again with Maya Brady, who had those 6 hits and 2 home runs opening weekend. Just started out absolutely on fire.
Maya Brady won gold with Team USA at the World Games last summer. Figures to be a mainstay on that team, and you never know what can happen the next couple years, but hard to think of a Team USA that wouldn't have Maya Brady starting on it. Bounced in by Copeland, 2-1 count.
Remember last season, she was injured, so she didn't start out on opening day with the Talons and missed, I forget how many weeks it was, but when she joined them, she started out a lot like what you're seeing here this season. It's absolutely on fire. Great start to the season. Gave the Talons a ton of confidence to have her join them. Just has such a big presence in the box.
She played just 6 of 24 regular season games, and she played in the 2 championship games for the Talons. And in those 6 games that she played in the regular season last year, hit .647 with 11 hits, a double, a home run, and 5 RBIs. The 2026 AUSL season is here. You can get your 4-game Flex Pass, single-game season, and group tickets for the Cascade, Talon, Spark, and everybody at AUSL.com, as this is a gapper from Romero. It was fumbled for a minute. Romero trying for 3, and she is in there as Brady scores.
Sydney got out on, or had a hit into a fielder's choice on a changeup in her last at bat, but look at her go down and take this drop ball the other way. So right now the Spark are so good down in the zone against Bree Copeland, being able to handle these pitches that are missing more on the plate. Sydney Romero looking for a mistake. She got one on the outer half, let that pitch travel, and gets herself a triple.
And that is going to force a 2nd inning pitching change for the Bandits, it appears. At least we thought. They had signaled down to the bullpen where Mariah Lopez was ready. And here comes the lefty out of Utah to replace Bree Copeland. Not the start Chicago had hoped for after opening the season 0-3. Runner on third, 1, lights out. No earned runs in more than 10 innings pitched.
So maybe they're exactly where they want to be. right now. Even though we're in the second inning, they're already having to make a pitching change. Again, their starter is just not going very deep into games. And Mariah Lopez, the lefty, will enter into this game with a great changeup and also mixes in her curveball as well. But the Bandits are just going to need to find a way to get some outs here. They're not getting very many swings and misses. Sparks seem to be on time. The Spark offense is a lot to handle.
Lopez will see Sydney Sherrill to lead things off, who takes a first pitch strike. And you got to feel a little bit for the first-year pitching coach, Taryn McKinney, who's done an excellent job in 3 years now at Mississippi State, but she's missing 3 of their primary 5 arms. One of them was the #1 pick ever in AUSL history, Lexi Kilfoyle. They also are missing Kat Sandercock, who starred at Florida State, and the lefty flamethrower Emily Kennedy, all finishing up in Japan right now.
It is putting them into a really tough position to start out this season. And somebody else is just going to have to find a way to step up. Odyssey Alexander Bennett looked really good in relief in Utah I want to say last weekend, but last series, a few days ago.
Foul ball from Sherrill, still a 1-2 count for Lopez. This is where Copeland found herself a lot in the opening frame, but just could not get batters out in pitchers' counts. Sherrill was one of them who doubled and later scored on the 3-run home run from Bubba Nichols Camarena. Sherrill to right field, blasted it toward the bleachers, and it's gone. The Spark power has traveled to Chicago. Another long ball for Oklahoma City.
So many extra base hits already by the Spark through not even 2 innings. And Sydney Sherrill gets a screwball, does not get in on her hands enough. She gets her barrel there and blasts it out of here. 2 home runs in 2 innings for the Spark, make it 8 now on the year.
They have already hit for the cycle as a team today. Anna Camden's going to stay busy in the dugout. We'll get to her in just a second with Sydney Sherrill. Bubba already a 3-run home run. 0-1 pitch. Ground ball left side picked up by Williams. 2 outs. Let's go down to Anna with Sydney.
We are going to stay busy down here, Chucky, it seems, because Sydney, you have kept this momentum going. How's this dugout feeling right now?
We're feeling really good. It's been a fast-paced game so far, so just staying with it, doing what we know how to do, and it's working. So
it is working. All right. Thank you so much. Back to you, Chucky.
I love that we're catching him too. Right after the home run trot, we had Bree Ellis a couple times at altitude, and she was gassed coming around the bases. I think she was loving every second of it too, because she was playing so well.
No doubt. That altitude is tough to handle in Utah. You know, now that we have these home bases, a lot of games going to be played in Utah. That's tough on the lungs.
The Talons staying home too. They open with back-to-back home series, so they'll get the Portland Cascade. A lot of UCLA Bruins matching up in that. All 3 UCLA rookies that were drafted, Taylor Tinsley, Jordan Woolery, and Megan Grant, going to be matching up. Woolery and Grant separated. It's hard to believe it.
Well, I know what I'm going to be doing.
Whiz! A drive to left field over the stands. Got that up in the jet stream, and Delaney Whiz has a 2-hit day and her 2nd home run of the season.
The Spark look like they are just swinging free, getting their best swings off. I mean, this is just not holding back at all. They like it up, they like it down. They are hitting and on time with just about everything. 3 home runs for the Spark already.
They have outscored their 2 opponents in 4 games, 10-1 in the 2nd inning. Warren takes and jumps ahead 2-0. 2-0 to Jesse. And take strike one. Guess who? Anna with Delaney Wiz.
Delaney, third home run of the day for you guys. What's working for you?
Honestly, just coming out swinging. I have a lot of great teammates that just will do anything it takes to get a win. So just coming out hot and putting some good swings on some good pitches.
All right, thank you so much. Chucky, it looks like we're going to be having a lot of home run interviews today.
It looks that way. Spark fans hearing a lot from their team right now in the early stages.
Well, and it's so difficult, too. This is the first home game, remember, here in Chicago. It's hard for this crowd to get involved. And as the opposing team, as Mariah Lopez throws a really good changeup right there, it's, you know, as the opposing team, you want to come and score early and take the opposing crowd out of it immediately. And that's what they've done.
Jesse Warren walks. If you're the Spark, you also want to set the tone for an 8-game road trip that you're embarking on starting today. They open their season at home against the Texas Bolts, but they're here in Chicago. They go straight to Portland, where we will follow them, and then they go to Utah, kind of staying out west before they get back home finally on June 27th. Strike one to Haley Lee. The power possibilities don't go anywhere when Haley Lee steps in. Had a great career at Texas A&M and then finished with 1 year at Oklahoma in 2023. Now a fourth-year pro from Kingwood, Texas. Kind of guessing at that pitch and falls behind 0-2.
Well, you know you're feeling good about the power in your lineup when somebody like Haley Lee is batting in the 7-hole for you, kind of like the Talons with Bree Ellis batting in the 8 and the 7-hole for them. Big time pop with Haley Lee, especially when she's swinging at good pitches. Opening weekend just looked like she was out in front trying to get her timing. You could just feel it. Saw her chasing a lot. So what she's looking for is just some better at bats, trying to see the ball well out of the hand of these pitchers and just starting to get more on time early in the season. That's a good take right there to take that change up, more balance.